Hey guys, it's Adam aka Swimming Bird, and welcome to Splatoon. Today we're going to talk about the 2.9 update patch that is on the way, but it's with a heavy heart that I have to report it's almost time for our final Splatfest, at least until the sequel. That's right, a lot of you guessed it, the theme is going to be Callie versus Marie, but this is the last one for all the snails. At least probably a normal amount, but, you know, to take home bragging rights that you won the last Splatfest. Now, it's going to be 48 hours, so it's an extra long one, starting 5 a.m. Eastern Time in North America, Friday, July 22nd, and going all the way till 5 a.m. on Sunday, July 24th. And this is going to be worldwide for matchmaking, but there will be some divisions to make sure there's not too much lag or anything. North America and Europe are all going to be bunched together, and Japan will be on its own, but the results are going to be combined and announced at the same time. So everywhere is going to be fighting together to claim victory for one of the Squid Sisters, and voting is going to be starting on July 4th, Monday, at 10 p.m. Eastern, so you can pick your team and defend one of these little squid idols in the final battle. Now, the stage voting is also going to be kind of unique for this one. You can choose what stages we're going to have, and, you know, popular rules are going to apply. So if you get an email for stage voting, definitely chime in, and you should be getting one with the email address that you use for your Nintendo Network ID. That is going to last from June 30th, so it's already started, until July 12th, and you can only vote for one stage apiece from the 16, and they're going to pick the 3 most popular, I believe. So there we go. It's a little sad, but let's jump into battle and talk about the exciting patch that is almost here. All right, just let me dry the ink from my eyes, and we'll move on to the patch notes for 2.9. This is going to be released July 5th in North America, July 6th in Japan, and it's partly to add compatibility with the Callie and Marie amiibo that are launching just a day or two after. And those, of course, add in the functionality to watch the Squid Sisters perform songs, but it's also a way to go to Inkopolis Plaza at night after the Splatfests are done and over with. So if you miss it, there's one way to see that in all of its beautiful nighttime glory, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we're going to be able to play the stages at night outside of Splatfest, so maybe that'll at least let us jump into training mode and see them. I'm just going to make a break for it with my brush here. A lot of people have been asking, too, once the Splatfests are over, how are we going to get Super Sea Snails? But there's already the substitute of 30,000 gold to re-roll instead of the Sea Snails, so I don't think we're going to have any other way to get those Sea Snails. Anyways, this new patch is a balance patch as well, bringing mostly nerfs. And first up, the Dynamos all have another nerf. Now, in a previous patch, they did change the rollers where you have to be very accurate with them now, hitting with the ink that flies off of the roller part itself if you want to get that one-hit KO. But with the 3 Dynamo rollers, now there's an 18% reduction to that one-hit KO width. So you're going to have to be very accurate, or at least moderately accurate, with the Dynamos if you want to get, you know, one flick and one splat. And speaking of the flicks with the Dynamos, the time to recover your ink after flicking has increased from 1.17 seconds to 1.33 seconds. So kind of like the splash wall where you have to wait a little bit to get your ink back after you throw it. After you flick, you have to wait a little bit longer than you did previously to start getting your ink back. They did get a buff, though. The Dynamos now do 12% increased damage to the Rainmaker's shield, so be a little bit more viable to use in Rainmaker mode, but still, lots of nerfs, because I know a lot of people are very frustrated with the Dynamos and have trouble with them. I think they're still going to be good. It's just, you know, they're constantly trying to balance this stuff out, and I'm constantly trying to get enough ink from my Kraken to stay alive on here. Oh, jeez. So we also saw a nerf and a bit of a buff in a way to the Kraken and the Bubbler. Now, the Bubbler I've complained about in the past before. Jeez, can't believe we survived that. So the Bubbler and the Kraken. Now, if you have special duration up, the effectiveness of that gear ability now caps at 60% instead of 40% for both the Bubbler and the Kraken, meaning special duration up is going to be more useful to have on both of those specials. But this was changed because the Bubbler and the Kraken now do not last as long. The Bubbler is down from 5 seconds to 4.5 seconds, and the Kraken, sadly for me, is down from 6 seconds to 5 seconds. So they both got a bit of a nerf there in their invincibility time. And I do think the Bubbler needed it. I don't think the Kraken necessarily did. It's just my opinion, but the Kraken has already gotten so many nerfs in the past. They're both just not going to last quite as long. It is, you know, a second or a half a second of difference, so it's not a huge deal. But if you want to use Bubblers and Krakens, might be a good idea now to really stack at least a little bit of the special duration up. And if you look at it, the comparison, I saw people talking about the differences now with this new rate for those gear abilities. You're going to be able to put one main of special duration up to basically have the equivalent of pre-patch Kraken and Bubbler. So not too much of a difference. It's just, you know, making that ability a little more important. So it is a buff to those ability that just jumped right off of that gal. Ooh, I almost did one of those super jump Kraken attacks, but I could maybe take him out this way. There we go. Anyways, so yeah, those are the main changes to weapons and specials. They did have a few issues they fixed. If you were to super jump while you were swimming through ink in previous patches, there was a thing where it would seem like you were sliding for a really long time. And on top of that, there was an issue with ink mines where occasionally, if you placed it on enemy turf, it would be visible to your opponents even if they didn't have Bomb Sniffer on. And then last but not least, Anchovy Games, they fixed an issue in Rainmaker mode where terrain wasn't really getting like turfed properly with ink. And of course, they always have, you know, adjustments for a more pleasant gaming experience. And hopefully that means some maybe secret features that they threw in there, but we'll know a little later on. That roller loves to jump off into the water, and I got my revenge thanks to the waters here at Camp Triggerfish. Thank you guys so much for watching. Those are the patch notes. Important stuff, even though there's not too many of them. And it's nice to see them still balancing things, even at this you know, late date when we know there's not too much content still on the way. A lot of people are hoping they're going to raise the level cap or something, you know, to give more things to do. But I'm still going to be fighting to get a higher rank and still going to be playing with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this. I had a little bit of a mixed bag there on that match, but I think I got a good amount of splats, and we had a better weapon balance. Thank you guys again. I'm going to be streaming that Splatfest, of course, in a few weeks and checking out the new amiibo coming out. I'll see you guys next time, though, for some more Splatoon. Goodbye.